Kelly Olynyk is the true wild card of the Utah Jazz roster. When I say that, I essentially mean that we understand who the guards are. We understand the point guard battle. We understand what the likely lineups are that we're going to run. We do understand what the bigs are looking like. But one thing that draws much curiosity is whether or not they want to keep him or if they think it's better to go ahead and trade him. Thanks for tuning into the video. As always, it's your boy Wraith Hoops. Make sure to like the videos so that the algorithm knows to push the content out to more viewers. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this one. Now, Kelly Olynyk is 32 years old and entering the final year of his contract, where he's expected to make slightly over $12 million a year. He's been in the NBA for 10 seasons and he came out of Gonzaga. Last season, he played 68 games for the Utah Jazz and actually ended up averaging 12.7 points and 6.2 rebounds. Those were solid numbers coming off the bench and just playing quality minutes across the board for them in general, which is why they were willing to guarantee the money that he's going to be expected to make this season, also alongside the fact that he is on an expiring contract. Kelly Olynyk has made his money being a big that's pretty versatile. He can shoot the ball decently well. He's known for being a stretch big. He's not the most athletic. He's not necessarily the most impressive or looks the most hooperish, so to speak. But he's somebody that across every team he's been on, he's been a consistent presence that's been reliable. You know what you're getting from Kelly every night. No matter what day of the week it is, he does the same thing every time. That being said, there are many things that come up as questions for the Utah Jazz and the organization as a whole, because there's going to be teams that come knocking. There's always been very interesting things going on with that team. It's jam-packed with young players that are brimming with energy and just ready to get after it after having a more impressive season last year than they were ever anticipated to have, thanks to Lauri Markkanen just teeing up the entire year. But going into this season, there are a lot of questions that have to be decided for them personally as far as directions go. You're full of young talent, you have a lot of draft picks down the road, and it's a thing of, do you want to try and win now because you are, in many people's eyes, being recognized as a possible playoff team and really just maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years away from being a true contender? Do you want to go ahead and grab a veteran that's going to be effective now along with draft capital? Because many people are valuing Kelly Olynyk as that. There's a lot of teams that would take a stretch big and be perfectly fine giving up a first round draft pick or a couple second round draft picks along with another rotation piece. If I'm the Jazz though, I don't know if that's something I want to do. Admittedly, they did just draft Taylor Hendricks to go ahead and seed behind Walker Kessler and Lauri Markkanen alongside John Collins in that starting lineup. But Kelly Olynyk kind of fits the need of being a reliable, older forward to have on that roster. Admittedly, this team is very young, but they are also very mature in the fact that there's nobody that's going to demand anything or make things uncomfortable for other players. Obviously, with Lauri Markkanen as the lead guy, he's not known for being the most outspoken player, the most selfish player, the most problematic individual on the court at any point in time. So reasonably so, you can expect that that will remain the same this upcoming season. There have been a lot of trade rumors going around, more so around Olynyk as far as the bigs go. It seems like everybody else kind of has a cemented spot, or they know exactly what their role is going to be this upcoming year. But it's also likely that, considering that Robert Williams and Malcolm Brogdon just got traded over to the Portland Trailblazers, it does make sense that the Boston Celtics are in the market for another big that can perhaps not replace Time Lord, but offer them some more depth, considering that Porzingis and Al Horford being older and Porzingis being slightly more injury prone than people would like to admit, just being able to round out that roster and add a little bit more depth to it. I believe that Kelly Olynyk fits their brand of basketball well. Obviously, he shoots the ball well, so it allows people more opportunities to operate out of pick and rolls, get into more pick and pop situations. And also, he's not a cone on defense, and while he's not the most amazing player on the defensive side of the ball, he does offer enough to where you can keep him on the court. And because he does have that shooting touch on offense and he is a solid rebounder, he is a reliable piece to have on the court, regardless of what team you are, especially if you're lacking shooting or if you want to try and keep your roster mildly big and have your bigs being able to shoot jumpers would allow that to stay the same. That being said, veteran players that can stretch the floor from the forward position have always been considered a commodity, especially in today's NBA where we're going towards a bigger, brighter, more athletic, more flashy three-point shooting type of offensive set across the league, regardless of what team you're on. Now, obviously, there are a couple of exceptions, Bulls, but it's appreciated to have a player like a Kelly Olynyk on your roster, which stands to reason that he's going to be valuable even if he stays with the Utah Jazz. But there's also going to be a lot of teams that are going to be willing to pay top dollar just to get him. And considering that Danny Ainge has joined the staff in that front office, it's reasonable to assume that he's not just going to get fleeced and snagged away from the Jazz anytime soon. And if it does happen, there's going to be a conversation, there's going to be a sit down, there's going to be a long drawn out situation where they explain exactly what he's worth and they get what he's worth. We've seen a lot of players request trades. We've seen a lot of players get sent other places because GMs feel like they can get better assets from another team and things not work out. But we've also more recently in the Damian Lillard situation seen a situation where things do work out. Even when it costs you getting a third team involved, things always seem to find a way to work out. And considering Danny Ainge's history with the Celtics, previously obviously having been the general manager there and being heavily involved in the system that they ran over there, it would make sense that if a phone call was made to him, he perhaps wouldn't cut them a deal, but he would definitely make it a very shortened process to get the transfer done for Kelly Olynyk to get traded that way. My money's on the Celtics coming and calling, but there are a few other contending teams that I could potentially see doing it just for the sake of having some extra depth. Whatever the case may be, we'll find out soon enough. But with that being said, go ahead and like the video so that the algorithm knows to push it out to more viewers. Go ahead and comment your thoughts down below. Subscribe, turn on those post notifications. Without any further ado, good morning, good evening, good night, no matter where you are on the globe watching. Thanks for tuning into this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.